Hey guys, I'm Lauren McKeever. I'm from the beautiful Portland, Oregon, and my slides covered the etiology and the signs and symptoms. Hope you guys enjoyed the presentation.
Hello, my name is Angelica Camarillo. I live in Lake Balboa, California, and the material that I cover is the reservoir and transmission for the West Nile fever.
Hey guys, my name's Rodney Harker. I'm from Idaho Falls, Idaho, and today I'm going to be covering treatment and prevention of West Nile.
Etiology of West Nile virus. The West Nile virus is an enveloped, single-stranded, positive sense RNA virus and a member of the genus Flavivirus and family Flaviviridae, which contains 70 recognized species. It has been reported that about 50% of these viruses are known to cause disease in humans. In addition, these microorganisms are arthropod-borne and thus are referred to as arboviruses. Arboviruses of the Flavivirus genus are capable of infecting and replicating in both vertebrate and invertebrate hosts. Flavivirus is a motile virus and is also gram-positive when stained. So to recap, West Nile viruses are enveloped RNA-stranded viruses, motile, and part of the Flavivirus family. Etiology continued. For some viruses, the capsid is surrounded by a lipid bilayer that contains viral proteins, usually including the proteins that enable the virus to bind to the host cell. This lipid and protein structure is called the virus envelope and is derived from the host cell membranes. Once the virus's RNA is released into the cytoplasm of targeted cells, which include endothelium, lymphocytes, and cells in the central nervous system, it acts as an early messenger RNA, or mRNA, ready for translation of proteins responsible for the replicative process. The West Nile virus is thought to replicate at the site of inoculation and then spread to lymph nodes and the bloodstream. Viral penetration of the central nervous system appears to follow.
Transmission. As we mentioned before, West Nile is most commonly transmitted to humans through mosquitoes. Mosquitoes acquire the virus from the infected birds they have previously bitten. The virus then makes its way to the mosquito's salivary glands and will eventually come into contact with humans that are bitten by the infected mosquito. When humans are bitten by infected mosquitoes, the virus is then acquired by the human. Humans are dead-end hosts. This means that humans can't transfer the virus to other hosts. Because humans don't allow for proper replication that the virus needs to proliferate and spread to other hosts. The incubation period when humans are bitten by an infected mosquito and the appearance of signs and symptoms of the illness varies from 3 to 14 days. Other methods of transmission that represent a small proportion are blood transfusions, organ transplants, exposure in a laboratory, and from mother to baby during pregnancy, delivery, and breastfeeding. West Nile virus is not transmitted from person to person or from animal to person through direct contact. The virus can be transmitted for handling live or dead infected birds. It is recommended that if we have an open wound in our hands, we should wear gloves for our protection.
Signs and symptoms of West Nile virus. Approximately 80% of people do not show any signs or symptoms. The West Nile virus is fairly asymptomatic. The other 20%, however, of people experience a fever, rash, body aches, vomiting, diarrhea, and joint pain. Most people recover completely within a few weeks, but fatigue can last a bit longer. Some people experience severe symptoms. Less than 1% of people who are infected will develop a serious neurological illness such as encephalitis or meningitis, which is inflammation of the brain or surrounding tissues. The symptoms of neurologic illness can include headaches, high fever, neck stiffness, disorientation, coma, tremors, seizures, or even paralysis. People with certain medical conditions such as cancer, diabetes, hypertension, and kidney disease are also at greater risk for serious illness. Recovery from severe disease may take several weeks or months. Some of the neurological effects may even be permanent. About 10% of people who develop neurologic effects due to the West Nile virus will die. Signs are fever, rash, vomiting, and diarrhea, while symptoms are joint pains or body aches. Symptoms are generally subjective to the patient, meaning that you have to go off of their word whether or not they're experiencing the pain. While signs, however, can be seen or diagnosed by other people, perhaps the physician.
Reservoir. Birds, like the American crow, a corvid, American robin, and a thrush, are natural reservoirs hosts of West Nile virus, which means they are the natural occurring source of the disease causing microbes. Mosquitoes, most common way to contract West Nile virus.
All right, so treatment time of West Nile virus. So right now, the main form of treatment for West Nile virus is the use of an antiviral agent called ribavirin. So ribavirin, it can be taken either orally, intravenously, or with a nebulizer. And as we said, ribavirin is an antiviral agent that is used to help with West Nile virus as well as Nipah virus. And so there was a study that was conducted by Jordan et al. That showed that ribavirin inhibited the viral replication by reducing extracellular West Nile virus RNA by about 50% at 60 UM and 90% at 190 UM. So some significant reductions there. All right, so prevention of West Nile. So right now there are several vaccines that are under development, but there aren't any vaccines that have quite been approved yet for human use. So some common forms of prevention is the use of insecticides around homes to get rid of mosquito breeding areas. So to be able to do this, all water must be removed from the breeding area in 4-day intervals for the breeding grounds to be terminated. Some main recommendations are to avoid exposure to mosquitoes. So you need to wear long sleeve shirts, wear some mosquito repellent, and they say to fix all screen doors so they don't get inside your house. Also, some biopesticides can be used to kill the larvae to prevent further population of mosquitoes in the area.